3.
Hi, Professor Fairbanks. I'm Jennifer Reilly, and I'm doing my informative speech today on adoption. So here's my audience. Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to share with you something today that is very near and dear to my heart, and something that changed my life in a huge way about 10 years ago. And that is the process and the blessings of adoption. I hope that through my speech today that you can have a little bit of light shed on the process of adoption, as well as the many benefits for everybody involved, from the adoptive parents, the birth parents, to the actual child that's being adopted. Chances are pretty good that you or somebody very close to you has dealt with infertility or the inability to have a child on your own. I know that is something that I faced, and I was absolutely devastated when I learned that the doctor told me I had insurmountable infertility and I was completely unable to have children biologically. So when I faced those facts, I did a lot of soul searching, research, and after looking at all of my options, I decided that adoption was going to be the best choice for myself. Once I made that decision, I had to decide whether I wanted to choose open or closed adoption. Closed adoption means there is no relationship before, during, or after the birth of the child. So you don't meet the birth parents, you don't act as a part of the birth itself, and you don't have any relationship afterward. Everything is private, and there's no communication. Some people may prefer this if they want privacy, but the more popular choice in recent years is open adoption, and this is exactly what I chose. An open adoption means that you actually meet the birth parents before the birth of the child. In my case, I was lucky enough to be at the birth of my children, and there's been an ongoing relationship after the birth of the child, and there's many benefits to everybody in the triad of adoption. The child can grow up with the ability to contact their birth parent with questions or curiosities about their genealogy. The benefit for myself as an adoptive mother is I can call a birth parent and ask if there's a medical question or a characteristic trait that I'm curious about. And also for medical reasons, I know my oldest son has suffered quite a bit with allergies, and that's something that he inherited from his birth parents. The comfort level and familiarity of having this sort of a relationship is really invaluable to myself. I like that there's no mystery around anything for my boys, that they're able to have every question answered, and they know that there was no secrets or anything like that. The process after you've made the choice of open or closed adoption, the process is really, if you've done your homework, quite simple and fairly quick. It can be. I registered with a reputable adoption agency, filled out the proper paperwork, which took about 2 days, and then I was given the task to make an adoptive parent profile. This is basically a photo album or a scrapbook, sort of like a commercial for myself, advertising why I think I would be a great choice for that birth parent to pick me to be the mother of their child. A lot can be based on that, and it was a fun process to do. Once I turned that in, it was being presented to birth mothers and birth fathers to make their selection, and it was a fairly quick process. I only waited about 2 weeks to be matched with my first son's birth parents. I had a good relationship with his birth mother. Before his birth, I was at his birth, and afterward, we have had an ongoing relationship. Once the match is made in the adoption process, all you need to make is the finalization. Finalization legal paperwork really only, it varies from state to state. Both of my sons were born in North Carolina, and in the state of North Carolina, it takes 3 to 6 months to finalize an open adoption once the documents are signed at the birth. So both of my sons were adopted and finalized within 6 months, and I've had them both since the day they were born. That's about it for the process of adoption. I hope that you feel a little better informed about the process. It really is a wonderful option. It's been a blessing to my life. It's changed my life in amazing ways. If it's done properly and legally, it can be quick and easy. And at this point, I would love to have my adopted sons come up here to meet you. This is Jackson, and this is Jonah. He was born and adopted in 2001, and Jonah in 2004, and have made me the mother I am today.
You mean 2002?
2002. Molly was 2004. Does anybody have any questions?
I was wondering a little bit about money. That's one area I didn't hear you talk about that. As far as money that you might have to pay for this process, and the money that the birth parents may have had to pay to participate in that agency that you registered with. Could you talk a little about that?
That's an excellent question. What I chose was an adoption ministry, and all they did was the match. They charged no fee, and it, God bless you. In our situation, our birth mother had her own private insurance. She asked for no financial compensation, so the only fee that was involved with either one of my children was the legal process to finalize, in this case was $1,500, and this case was $1,200. So that was the only financial, and that would be the end, God bless you, that's the end of our speech. Is there any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.